Machiavelli watched kings fall, alliances collapse, and trusted men drive daggers into the backs of the people who loved them most. And after a lifetime of studying human nature at its most raw and ruthless, he came to one conclusion that most people never want to accept. You don't truly know who someone is. You only know the version they've decided to show you. And right now, in your life, there is someone wearing a mask so convincing that you would bet your future on them, your money, your loyalty, your secrets. And when that mask finally cracks, it won't happen slowly. It will happen in a single second, a flicker, a glitch, a thin slice of truth breaking through the performance. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what to look for. 3 specific moments that strip a person down to their core, the way Machiavelli would have wanted, without mercy, without illusion. Pay attention, because after this, you will never see people the same way again. The theater we all live in. Every person you have ever met is performing, every single one. Your colleague who smiles at your desk every morning. The friend who says, "I've got your back." The partner who tells you they love you. They are all running a social script, carefully constructed to get what they need from the world. This isn't cynicism, it's biology. Social performance is how humans survived. But here's where it gets dangerous. Some people aren't performing for survival. They're performing for predation. They have studied you. They know what you need to hear. They reflect your values back at you like a mirror. And behind that mirror, nothing. Just calculation. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience who you really are." The predator controls the interaction. They control the lighting. So if you want to see the truth, you have to change the lighting. You have to introduce a variable they never rehearsed for. You have to apply pressure, not the obvious kind, not a crisis. In a crisis, even a coward can look brave for 60 seconds. No, you need something smaller, quieter, a thin slice, 3 of them to be exact. The first crack, how they handle a small no. Picture this. A man I'll call Daniel had a business partner for 3 years. Smart, charismatic, always laughing. They built something real together. Then one afternoon, the partner asked Daniel to approve a deal that didn't sit right with him. Daniel said simply, "I don't think I can do that one." Not a fight, not an accusation, just a no. The partner's smile froze. His eyes went cold for exactly half a second. Then he recovered. Of course, no worries at all. But that half second changed everything. 3 months later, Daniel found out the partner had been quietly building an exit behind his back for over a year. That frozen smile was the truth. This is what I call the micro-denial test, and it is the most underestimated character detector that exists. Here's the psychology. A person with a corrupted internal world doesn't see you as a human being. They see you as a function. You are useful. You are a resource. When they ask for something small, grabbing coffee, changing plans, lending something trivial, they aren't asking. They are expecting. And when the limb refuses to move, when you say no to something small and meaningless, you will see what they actually are. Watch the face, not the words, the face. Paul Ekman, the psychologist who spent decades mapping human micro-expressions, proved that the face betrays what the mind tries to hide. It lasts less than a quarter of a second, a flash of cold, a freeze in the eyes, the reptilian brain reacting before the mask can catch up. Machiavelli identified 2 forces that drive men, fear and love, but the tyrant is driven by a third, control, and a small no is not an inconvenience to them. It is a rebellion. It is a signal that you are not fully under their authority, and they cannot tolerate that. Test it. Pick someone in your life who always seems perfect, always charming, always generous, but something feels slightly off. Wait until they ask for something trivial. Then say calmly, "No, I can't right now." No big excuse, no apology, just a clean boundary. A healthy person will say fine and move on. A dangerous person will show you their real face for half a second. If you see what I'm describing, understand this. If they rage at a small no, what happens when you give them a big one? When you leave the job, when you end the relationship, when you stop being useful, you will find out exactly what Machiavelli warned about. The man who cannot respect a small boundary will eventually destroy a large one. He's not testing your help, he's testing your submission. The second crack, how they react when you win. There's a line from the show Succession that stuck with me. Logan Roy, talking about the people around him, says something like, "I love you, but you're not serious people." And that's the thing about the envious. They love you, but only when you're losing. Empathy for suffering is easy. When you are crying, the toxic person in your life will be right there, warm, present, helpful. And this feels like loyalty, but it isn't. It's comfort. Seeing you struggle makes them feel elevated. It feeds the hierarchy they need to feel okay about themselves. Now flip it. You get the promotion. You close the deal. You lose the weight. You find the relationship. You hit the number you've been chasing for 2 years. Share it, not humbly, with actual joy. And then stop listening to the words. Watch the video on mute. Does the smile reach the eyes, or does the mouth perform joy while the eyes stay flat? Is there a micro delay before the celebration kicks in, that split second where they had to decide how to react? Do they pivot immediately to something about themselves? That's great. It reminds me of when and worst of all, the poisoned compliment. Wow, good for you. I'm surprised they went with someone at your level. You look amazing. You almost look like your old self. That pause, that redirect, that venom wrapped in a bow. That is what I call the silent funeral. They are mourning their own stagnation while standing in your victory. A person who cannot genuinely celebrate your wins is not your ally. They are your competitor. They have been keeping score this whole time, and you didn't even know there was a game. When you are rising, they are calculating. When you stumble, they will offer you a hand, not to lift you up, but to keep you from getting back up faster than they did. What do you do when you identify this person? Don't confront them. That's amateur. Use the Machiavellian law of concealment. Go quiet. Stop sharing wins. Feed them struggle. Tell them things are hard. Watch what happens to their energy. Watch them come alive. Watch them become helpful and warm and engaged again, because you are back where they need you, beneath them. That confirmation is your answer. Get out. The third crack, how they use power when no one is watching. You've probably heard of the waiter rule. How you treat service staff reveals your character. It's true, but it's beginner level. We're going further. Abraham Lincoln said nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. The real test is what a person does when they hold unchecked authority in a moment of stress. Not presidential power, small power. The power of the customer when something goes wrong. The power of the boss when a deadline is missed. The power of the driver in 2,000 pounds of metal when a pedestrian walks too slowly. In those moments, they have immunity. They can get away with it. What do they choose? Watch for the enjoyment, not just the action, but whether they seem to relish it. The slight smirk when they correct someone publicly. The extra 5 minutes they make a person wait just because they can. The way they withhold information to watch someone struggle. This is not rudeness. This is a low-grade sadism, and it lives on a spectrum. Every time a person uses their minor power to make another person feel small, they are showing you their operating system. And operating systems don't change based on who's in the room. They run the same code regardless. If they crush the waiter, they will crush you. Not today. Today you are an equal, maybe even someone they need, but the second you show weakness, the second you need something from them, the code runs the same way it always has. Machiavelli wrote that men are only good when forced to be good. When the necessity is removed, nature takes over. Watch for who someone is when the consequences disappear. What you do with this? 1 sign, be cautious. Everyone has bad days. Everyone has moments. 2 signs, be armed. You are dealing with something real. 3 signs, you are in a cage with a tiger. The fact that it hasn't bitten you yet doesn't mean it's tame. It means it isn't hungry right now, but it will be. You cannot fix this. You cannot love the entitlement out of them. You cannot support the envy into health. You cannot teach decency to someone who has built their entire identity around its absence. These aren't habits. They are architecture, so you don't burn the bridge. You don't make a scene. You become invisible to them. You slowly close the gates. You withdraw your energy, your secrets, your access, until you have faded from their world completely. And in the space that opens up, you find the rare ones, the people who respect your no, who celebrate your wins like they scored the goal themselves, who are kind when absolutely nothing forces them to be. They exist. They're just harder to find than the predators because they don't need to be loud about it. Machiavelli said, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." Look around you right now. What does your circle say about you? The magnifying glass is in your hand. The choice of where to point it is yours. If you actually made it this far, you know this is the real deal. For more raw, uncut wisdom that I don't post anywhere else, grab a spot in my free newsletter. And if this video added value to your day, smash that like button and subscribe so we can keep building together. I'll see you in the next one.